Welcome to episode 70 of Cougs on Cougs. I'm Mary. This is not Jess. This is Jordan, my husband. He is filling in for Jess while she is on her way, actually, as we speak, across the pond to London. We miss her. She'll be back for our next show, but welcome, Jordan. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, should we get started with our notable quotable?
Yeah, let's do it. This quote comes from Lori Myers. Think in terms of opportunities and solutions instead of problems, disappointment, and failure.
All right, well, we are going to get right into our first segment. Since we have Jordan filling in as co-host, he also happens to be the defensive backs coach for Mountain View Football. So we figured we would take advantage of that and kind of play off of one of the topics that Jess and I spoke with Criddle about. So for those of you that don't know, Jess and I had the opportunity to co-host ESPN 960 with Ben Criddle on Friday. We had a really great time, and the question of the day revolved around defense and asked if we agreed with Phil Steele in thinking that BYU would have a top 10 defense next year. That really got us thinking. Jess thought that it might be possible. Me and Ben were kind of on the side that it's a bit of a stretch, especially since we have lost Kai Nakua, and especially considering that we were 96th in pass defense, which is very bad. I'm hoping to improve there. But we really wanted to focus on and play off of that defensive back question and talk about, the gap that Kai Nakua has left. So we had Jordan dig into the defensive backs a little bit. Coach Blanchard. I mean, this isn't coaching from the couch, but it's kind of like a preseason coaching from the couch.
So how do you fill the shoes of Kai Nakua, right? Senior captain, leader on the defense, stuff like that. Something like 48 tackles, 6 interceptions. Those are incredible numbers.
Just absolute ball hawks. A guy, and I mean, when you think about his interceptions, there were always momentum-changing interceptions.
Kai is unquestionably an incredible player, but the pressure that our linebackers and D-line put on the quarterback, and I think the fact that our corners were really good, that puts him in a position to fly around and get some of those interceptions and things like that.
Okay.
So in terms of replacing him next year, I don't think that production can come from one person.
Yeah,
but I am really excited
Jess was saying.
About our 3 returners. Okay, we look at Micah Hanneman, strong safety, solid year last year, 28 tackles, and interception.
Yeah.
That's good for the strong safety position at BYU.
Yeah, he did well.
Diane Ganwaloku.
You can call him Diane Guacamole like Ty Detmerdis.
Incredible athlete. I love what he does after he gets interceptions, right? If he gets an interception, some good things are going to happen. He was able to take that one back to the house against Boise State last year. Yeah. Troy Warner, the other cornerback, I wonder how much better he would have been if he would have been healthy for a full season. Okay, he was injured, a hamstring injury. He came back, but when he came back, was he really 100%? I've had hamstring injuries, and it takes a long time to feel like you can really go and turn and sprint and stuff like that. So I'm excited for him to have full spring camp, spring training, fall camp, things like that, and then be ready to go for the season.
Who else do we have?
So filling the spots. Or their backups, filling the spot for Kai. When I look at corner, we saw guys like Chris Wilcox, Michael Shelton, Austin McChesney. I think all 3 of those guys will get time this year. They got time last year, especially with the injuries and things like that. They're a year older, and they're going to get more time.
We're looking at Diane and Troy as your starters at corner. Right. And then I think the 2 that are going to see the most play as backups at defensive back are Austin McChesney and Chris Wilcox. And you did see some flashes of brilliance from Chris Wilcox last year. I think you saw a lot of mistakes, more freshman mistakes than you at least saw from Troy and Diane. But you're right, all of these guys are going to have an extra year. So you're looking at 4 cornerbacks who have another year under their belt. So that's a good place to be. But I think that the position, so let's get to free safety, that we're most concerned about replacing Kai. So who are you looking at safety?
At free safety, we have who was a transfer last year, Tanner Jacobson. His freshman year before his mission, he played at Texas Tech. And he got a bunch of playing time at Texas Tech. Racked up 47 tackles, played in their bowl game. I think they beat Arizona State that year. So he has some pretty serious experience at safety. I like that.
Yeah.
Zane Anderson, not a ton of experience. He was injured a lot of his senior year of high school, injured his freshman year at BYU, but last year as a sophomore, played a lot on special teams. From what I've heard, Criddle talked about this a little bit, he's running a low 4.4. You can't beat speed.
Yeah, speed right? At safety is
that's awesome.
Going to win you games, really.
I also want to throw into the mix transfer Austin Lee from University of Utah. He played 7 or so games on special teams at University of Utah. I don't know what he's got, but I think he got some minutes in spring ball. And then just throw in there Chaz Ayu.
Got to.
He's a big prospect coming out of high school.
Yeah,
so.
If he can impress, I think that he can definitely earn some playing time. So as far as free safety, though, I think that we touched on it with Criddle, and you kind of spoke to it here. So what we're looking at is either Tanner or Zane getting your starting spot there, and then Chaz could potentially earn some time, and then you've got your
Maybe.
Austin Lee as kind of a question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, are you? How do you feel about our strength at defensive back?
I think defensive back, honestly, will be one of the strongest units on the defense this year. Even
maybe second only to the linebackers. Yeah, your linebackers are going to be your powerhouse on defense, right? If everything goes as planned.
I'll stick with my statement.
Okay.
I think the DBs are going to be good.
DB bias over here.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to talk of the town. There's a lot going on, as you can imagine, since we didn't have a show last week. So some of this stuff is little old news, but we still wanted to make sure we bring it up. Some of it is not old news. It's just a mix we got going here. So let's start with Eric Mika.
Eric Mika got his second workout with the Kings. Who he trains with, Gus Armstead says, always a blessing. See my man, Eric Mika, 14th NBA workout today with the Sacramento Kings.
That's not bad. 14 workouts?
I think it says something that the Kings are having him back, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think any of us really want him to wind up with the Kings, but any team is
someone else we love.
Better than no team. We should also mention there was a piece about Eric Mika on NBADraft.com, which is great. Always good to get that kind of press. And the NBA Draft is coming up on June 22nd, so that will have happened by the time we have our next show, and we are very hopeful for Eric. Next, also got a workout for a team in California, different team. The Lakers had LJ Rose work out. So that's awesome that he got a shot to do that. Hopefully he was able to impress him.
Colby Leifson said in his tweet from last week on the 4th, he said, last tweet for a while, Kolb as ice, going on his way, serving the Lord.
Yep, so Colby is gone. Sad day for all of us. I know Elijah has been back in Georgia, and I'm pretty sure Coach Rose and Coach Schroyer were out there as well, so they may have been able to stop by Colby's farewell. Okay, this is awesome. Dallin H. Oaks, so he was the president of BYU, as we all know, but did we know that he suited up as Cosmo? I don't know context for this picture, and I wish that I did. I don't know if this was a regular thing or a one-time thing, but this picture is priceless.
I just want to know if he did backflips and gymnastics stuff.
If you know, please hit us up.
Yeah. Twitter fan, SABYU fan, they were in Rome repping BYU with their royal blue hat.
Yep.
Pretty cool to be in Rome. Even cooler to be repping the Y while you're doing it.
Yeah, and he has been actually continuing to travel all over Europe. I know he was in Santorini yesterday and posted another picture with his hat. So we love that. We need to have Jess make sure she sends us back some pictures repping the Y in London and Paris.
Yeah.
So this is very cute. So as you guys know, the Southern California Fan Fest was last weekend. We did see some of our Twitter friends make it out there, and Mo Longy has been traveling along to some of these, and our friend Jen and Dave, they went and they posted a picture of their cute girl Tessa with Mo Longy, and she fits in one of his hands.
She looks so little next to him.
We wanted to give a shout out to a couple of our favorite viewers, Randy Shamo and Mike Shamo, on the new addition to their family. So he was born on June 3rd, and of course he's in a BYU onesie as a newborn. His name is Packer, and I asked Randy, he is named only after Boyd K. Packer, but he will also obviously be a fan of all of our BYU Packers, and this is kind of cool.
Coach Mahe says, "Welcome to Cougar Nation, Pac-Man. Glad to share this birthday with you." That's pretty cool that he reached out on Twitter.
Not only did he give him a cool nickname from the get-go, Pac-Man, they have the same birthday, so Randy and Mike could not have planned that better if they tried to give him the same birthday as Reno Mahe.
Dan Nielsen tweets, "Huge congrats to Kalani Purcell on signing with Melbourne Boomer in New Zealand. Excited to watch her and Jen Hampson compete in the WNBL."
Yep, so he's one of the assistant BYU coaches, giving a shout out to Kalani there. We thought that was especially interesting as her and Butch are recently engaged, so she will
Long
be...
distance.
Yep. Next, we have a little Kyle Van Noy section. He had a couple things going on last week. I'm sure, as you guys all saw, he got his Super Bowl ring. He said, "Winner's circle with a ring emoji. Peep the finger, it's on dough. Haters will say it's fake." It's on his middle finger there. That is some ice. I heard it had 283 something ridiculous number of diamonds.
But
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous, like his suit. So
what? You don't like that pink suit?
I guess it fits in well. He's owning it. So
that's one of his diamond rings that he celebrated. As for the other one,
equally as impressive, I think. Happy 3-year anniversary to my dreamboat. His wife Marissa says, "I love growing up with you," and it's a picture of them from their wedding.
Very cute. We wanted to bring this up. Speaking of our Cougars in the NFL, Jen, if you follow at Jen LC on Twitter, she will keep you up on all of the Taysom news because she is Taysom's #1 fan. No contest. Sorry, everybody. So she tweeted some text from an article that was on 24/7 Sports, the Green Bay Packers page, and it says a lot of things about Taysom overcoming his injury and finding a spot in the NFL, how unlikely that is, but it's got a quote from Mike McCarthy, the Packers head coach, that says, "He belongs," which is just, I tweeted Jen back and I said it was music to my ears because it is. After all he's been through, to hear an NFL coach say that he belongs
there
on the Packers roster is just, it makes me so happy for him. So him, Jamal, and Colby are BYU Packers, and we hope that they all stick around.
We like that.
Sticking with Taysom, this is unbelievable.
You know, what can't Taysom do when it comes to the field? Christina Tuso says, "Yo, MLB, Taysom Hill here, 19 home runs in the Jordy Nelson charity softball game." That's impressive.
So if he does get cut from the Packers, he can pull a Michael Jordan and head over to the Brewers, right?
Why not? He can do it all.
You're right. What can't he do? Superman. But 19 home runs. Are you kidding me? And I know there was some debate. There were pictures circulating of a smashed-in windshield that people said that Taysom smashed with one of his home runs. I think Taysom said he didn't. I don't know if he's just trying to stay out of trouble here or what, but I wouldn't be surprised. We know he's got some power. We couldn't end Talk of the Town without Tanner Mangum. He made it in here at the last second. It's almost like he knew that he wasn't in Talk of the Town, so he needed to get something on social media. He tweeted and he said, "Friendship things," with the high five emoji. And the first one is, of course, he and his best friend Matt Hadley. But do we have some competition moving in? Him and Bo Hodge.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I mean, or maybe not. Maybe all three of them are best friends, but just Tanner. He on Instagram, he said hashtag that butt chin, though, and he just cracks me up. It is pretty prominent in both of those pictures.
That's all for this week. We're off again next week. Jess will still be in London. So we have the draft and media day coming up before our next show.
Yep.
But otherwise, it's summer.
Yeah, all of our sports are pretty much done. So baseball lost out. Even state track is over. Shout out to Shea Collinsworth for finishing 4th in the finals.
Yeah, NCAA is over.
Just to get those dates straight, the 22nd is the NBA draft. Keep an eye out for Eric Mika. And June 23rd is Football Media Day. And we will be back shortly after that with our next show. As for our sponsors this week, our first sponsor is this house from the Parade of Homes in Alpine. Whoever you are, please come forward. We would love to have you on the show. This house is just #goals. We need this house, honey.
BYU swag everywhere. Sponsor number 2, Seth Davis, for always showing love to our guys. First Jimmer, now Eric. You gotta love that.
May you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jordan, I'm Mary. We will see you in 2 weeks.